5th April 2021. This was the day when LG officially announced their departure from the smartphone market. It was sad, at the same time, we knew it was coming. Since 2015, they were not in a good shape. They tried to come back many times but failed. So this decision made sense. LG was a brand which was very experimental with their phones. They tried to many weird stuff with their phones. Some of them were a hit, some were flop, and some were way ahead of its time. Well, today we will take a look to 7 of those weird phones made by LG. Before that, if you like to see tech related news and meme stuffs, then you should definitely join our Facebook group by the links in the description below. At number 7, we have LG G Flex from 2013. The weird part about this phone is that it was curved like a banana. I don't know why they wanted to make a curved phone like this. It was really weird. Not only that, it also had a self-healing back, which means if you scratch the back of the phone, after a while the scratch will somewhat disappear, which was a great concept, but it didn't take off due to the rise of using glass at the back of the smartphones. At number 6, we have LG Crystal from 2009. The weird part about this phone is that the sliding part of this phone had a transparent capacitive touch panel, which acts not only as a keyboard but also as a trackpad for navigation like BlackBerry Passport. Also, it had a front-facing camera, which was very rare at the time. But this phone wasn't a great success due to its poor software and performance. At number 5, we have LG G5 from 2016. It was the first modular phone of the world. The bottom part of this phone was removable, which also brings out the battery. There were some modules which you can use at that bottom part, but sadly, the phone failed as the modules make the phone more bulky and it was not that practical. At number 4, we have LG Double Play from 2011. The weird part about this phone was it had a secondary display between the sliding keyboard, which didn't had a great reception as it made the phone more bulky and the secondary display was not that useful, which resulted in failure. At number 3, we have LG VX9400 from 2007. The weird part about this phone is that the display swivels like the LG Wing from last year. Swiveling the display reveals the numpad of the phone and the display would change its orientation to horizontal. Also, this phone had a mobile TV support. Fun fact, this phone was featured on 2008 Iron Man movie. But this phone wasn't a great success like other phones of this video. The 2020 LG Wing was heavily inspired from this phone. Speaking of Wing, at number 2 we have LG Wing from 2020. The weird part about this phone is that the display of that phone swivels, revealing a small secondary display which could be used for multitasking while watching video. Also, it can be used as gimbal while holding the phone in portrait mode. But for the price, the spec feels compromised and the phone is also a little bit bulky. Before going to number 1, I have 2 honorable mentions. One is LG Optimus VU from 2012, which was a phablet trying to compete with Galaxy Notes but failed due to its impractical 4:3 aspect ratio. Another one is LG Decoy from 2008, which had a built-in Bluetooth headset with which you can receive calls, but the headset's sound quality was very poor and thus it failed. I think the concept of reverse wireless charging in modern smartphones was inspired from this phone. At number 1, we have LG Chocolate BL40 from 2009. The weird part of this phone is that it featured a 21:9 aspect ratio display opposed to 16:9 aspect ratio, which was common at the time. This tall design was a decade ahead of its time. Not only that, this phone also featured split screen mode, which was unheard of at the time. As it was way ahead of its time, it didn't succeed in the market. LG even tried it again in 2017 by launching LG G6, which featured a 18:9 aspect ratio display, which was a moderate success. So these were my picks for the weird phones by LG. Besides these crazy stuffs, they bought some actual innovations like tall aspect ratio display and ultra wide angle camera, which has a great impact in the smartphone industry. This video was a tribute from me to LG. Thanks LG for those wonderful 19 years. I will definitely miss them. Now I have two questions for you. Did you ever own the LG phone? Which LG phone is your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. Here comes the end of this video. Thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, then hit the like button and share this video. Also, if you want to see more content like this, then don't forget to subscribe my channel. So bye and see you again at the next one.